Okay, so I'm gonna try something way different from me today, which is that boom, boom, boom. This is all I can use. Here we go. Now, if you guys have been keeping up, I've given up on some of them, but like I will buy more stones. Like if you watched my Kel video, I couldn't pull Kel for like 3,000 stones, gave up, came back. It is what it is. But in this particular situation, I'm going to limit myself literally to what I've got on my account right now. If I get Turles, great. If I don't, then we just move on. I really want him, obviously, from a completion standpoint, and I obviously want the 2 side banner units too. I've literally not missed anything before, but it's one of those situations where I'm literally sitting on so many red coins, and I just don't see. This is a weird thing to say, and I want to have him, and eventually I will get him. You know, obviously be back on a banner, and the banner value here is actually pretty good. Bardock is back, Yamcha is back. I think this might be a first. I don't know if we've ever seen them bring back 2 DFEs that released like that quickly and brought back already so soon, like together like this. But like for me right now, and I know this sounds so crazy, but I feel like I just don't see myself actually using that Turles that much. I don't know, and maybe I'm so wrong. I actually really want the is it Almond, is that how you say his name, side banner unit more. Oh, what's up, Bardock?
I'm gonna change the future.
Hi. This is, dude, so Bardock came out when I was on my arc of doing the solo vids and then the dual summons, and then Diddy and I would dual summon like for thousands of stones per part. So I was rainbowing like every character in the last 6 months of last year, and as you can tell, I'm not doing that now. Now, there's been a lot of discussion in the Dokkan community about like, has it fallen off, all these things. I've seen it. I think Truth even made a video yesterday about it, but I've saw a lot of threads over it. And what I think what it really has come down to is just the fact that the game is old. Like I think when this game was originally made in 2015, someone at Bandai in a room was just like, hey, you know, mobile's big. We tried it with that one game, you know, it didn't work. Maybe we should try it again. And like Akatsuki just had like this probably bare bones game with some bubbles. And Bandai said, you know what? Slap the Dragon Ball IP over that. Let's put that out and let's see what happens. And then now here we are 8 years later. And I don't think anyone that was in that original meeting that okayed Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle could have ever predicted that this game would last 8.5 years and would turn into a live service game that they have to constantly update and think of new characters and new things to do every single month, right? Like never in a million years could they, or even me, especially back then when I started playing nearly 8 years ago at this point, because I didn't start with JP. I didn't actually start with JP's launch. I started with Global's launch. Oh, wait. Wait, hey, that art is sick. Hang on, wait a minute. It actually is, it's stylized in like the Turles movie way. What? I hadn't looked at their arts yet. Dude, get me out of here. Let me go look. We got him. We got him. Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him. Dude, that is actually really cool. Wow. Okay, hang on, and then let's look at the awakened art. It's not. Oh, it doesn't do the. It's not this. Why is it not the same? This looks way better, man. Why can't they? God, dude, the whole freaking prism background strike again, man. All right, we're 1 of 3. 1 of 3. This is great. This is fantastic. This is actually a pretty good start. And if you're right now, if you're someone that's like, oh, come on, Nano would just buy more. I really promise you I wouldn't. I'm sitting on like, this might be crazy and we can check this, but I think I'm sitting on 16,000 red coins or something like that. It's a lot. it's a lot. At some point I need to just start using those, you know, and save a buck or two, you know? So it's like, I want him, but I just don't know that I need him right now. I want him, don't get me wrong, because I'm on a task, like I'm sorry, a mission to link level 10 like all of the LRs and all of the DFEs in the game, and I'm not done yet. I know some of you might be like, that's crazy, but I didn't care about link leveling until it had already been out for like well over a year. Like I didn't start link leveling or even get my first link level 10 unit until link leveling had been in the game for about 1.5 years. Like I popped my first link level 10. Oh, okay, now they have a dupe. That's even better. Wait, did y'all see that? Oh, it's a layer thing. It's a layer thing. It's part of the layers. When they popped, they looked like just normal, like the normal aesthetic. They look like Bardock here. And then I guess one of their layers probably has the sort of movie filter over it, which is what makes them look like they're from the actual Turles movie, which is actually really cool. But that's actually a really that's a really cool way to handle that. All right, well, we got a dupe for them, which by far is probably the best unit to pull here. And not to understate Turles, I think Turles is actually a pretty good character. It's just one of those things where I don't really know where he fits on my teams right now. Like, I've got a very select setup of teams. I showed you guys one of them a few weeks ago. If you guys missed that, I'll put a link to it in the description if you just want to check it out, because it was a fun video. I really enjoyed making that video. And that's still like my main go-to team for things. And then my other one I've been running is I went back to running, I want to call it LOE. I've been playing so much Legends lately. But basically just like a cooler team. I just still really love the cooler units. Like, last year's Worldwide Celebration was peak for me. Like, the fact that we got both cooler movies, which besides Broly are by far my favorite movies. I love Super Gogeta, but Super Gogeta lasts for like all of 120 seconds tops. Whereas like the cooler movies are really substantial and we get a lot of cooler and all of that. So anyway, that Worldwide Celebration last year was awesome. I still think a lot of people sleep on that Goku and Vegeta unit that came out as part 2. I love that unit so much. Yeah, but anyways, fast forward 8.5 years. I cannot believe that anyone who originally started Dokkan, including the player base, could have imagined this game would still be here 8.5 years later and be the gargantuan that it is. Even if maybe the player base has dwindled some, which I have to imagine it probably has. The game is pretty old, and it's just been a lot of the same. So, you know, there is a really awesome sense of community. I think that's been one of my favorite things about being in the Dokkan community and having a channel that has, you know, done a lot of Dokkan content, is just being a part of the community and being able to have these conversations with people, and even be able to have this conversation right now with you guys talking about, you know, the game being 8.5 years old. And so I saw Truth say it just could be a case of people are just getting kind of tired of the game. Maybe that's why it feels a little lackluster lately, because I do kind of agree with some of the things he says. Like, there were a lot of really good events for the 8th anniversary, but there was still some aspect of it that felt underwhelming. And I did for sure sleep on the Sin Shinron fight. Like, I did end up not taking that on until like 2 months after the anniversary. And those fights were actually really good. I think it was just maybe their marketing behind the events themselves. Like, there was something about when they came out of the gates for the 7th anniversary with Ultimate Red Zone that made me so much more enticed to play the Ultimate Red Zone versus playing the Shadow Dragon event thing. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys can agree with me, and I know a lot of people haven't got to experience this yet because hasn't released on Global. Global has got to experience, of course, the 7th anniversary, which we are just a month away from Global having the 8th anniversary. I think the other thing too, and I was talking to my friend, no way. Yeah, that's what it is. It flashes, and then you get the final effect, which is giving them the filter. So that means I bet if you go look at the assets and just get the PNG of the characters, they actually look like normal Dokkan PNGs. You actually probably have to apply that extra layer to get them to look like the Turles movie. No shot right now. Did we? Oh, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, Turles. No way do we have the other 2 banner units and not Turles. It never happens this way, ever. But my collection is still very complete. Matter of fact, if I was going to wait to pick up units with red coins, I would argue that I would prefer to get the banner units and not the Turles. Like, arguably, it's way more important to get the banner units now, because then they'll just be thrown into a sea of 200 units that I hopefully will get on a GSSR at one point, which I probably will, because that's how it's happened for all the other side banner units, but still. And so I think, are you for real right now? Dude, so we've got a dupe in the other, and now a dupe in them. Okay, and a fake out. We just got a Bojack. Is that him? I just gotta tell Dokkan I'm not spending money on it. What is happening? What is that? The box stays complete. Let's go. Oh my gosh, the box stays complete, y'all. Wow. Okay. Huh. I got to start setting myself limits more often, because this feels fantastic. Okay? This feels absolutely fantastic. Dude, are you kidding me? Long? Man. And dude, I already know there's so many people that are like,
No, you would have bought more.
no, I really wouldn't have. I really wouldn't have. I'm on a mission to try to cap myself on gacha spending. I got a little crazy last year with all the rainbows. I got just a wee bit crazy, and I am truly on a mission to put a cap on it and to chill a little bit. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I think it's a very smart decision. And I bought, so these stones that I had, I didn't buy them, by the way. Fun fact. Will it fuse? The infamous Chiaotzu Vegeta fusion?
Nope.
It didn't. These stones I had are ones that I bought prior to actually Golden Week. I bought a bunch of stones in Golden Week, and I said, I really hope that these stones will last me through to whatever part 2 is. And of course, part 2 came, Bulma happened, and I managed to get 3 Bulmas and like 1,100 stones, which is really good, obviously. Not denying that. And then I just haven't bought anymore. Like, so I haven't actually bought stones, which don't get me wrong, I bought like over 5,000 stones before Golden Week. But the fact that like last year I'd have probably spent that on one celebration, like, I don't think it probably seemed like that when people were like, Dano's rainbowing everything. Well, yeah, because I was doing like 2,000 to 3,000 stones in my solo summon, and then Diddy and I would do duels, and I would spend like 1,000 in his part and then 1,000 in mine, because we wanted to try to get them, because we were doing, if you summon it, you use it. So whatever we pull, we use in the video. So obviously I want to get the new unit to use in the video. And so by the time we were done with the solo and the duels, I had spent 4,000 to 5,000 dragon stones, which is a lot of dragon stones to spend. So like, yeah, that's why now with this year. And I think the other thing too is I'm not gonna like, you know, I'm just gonna be 100. It's also just Turles. And I think the thing is, a lot of people were, no, I guess not happy with my reaction. I'm not really sure what you wanted from me. I mean, listen, I enjoy hype as much as the next person, but I'm not gonna like, I'm like, my reactions, whether you want to believe it or not, are as genuine as it gets. I love this stuff, man. I love like Dokkan and everything they've done with it, and like seeing what they can do with the animations. And so I won't lie, I thought going back to Turles meant that we were going to long Kamehameha again. I thought we were gonna really, they were gonna snap. Like, this was the time where they were gonna snap, right? Because like the only real Turles we've had since good animations were really a thing, like animations worthy of reacting to, was the STR LR Turles, and those animations were good, by the way. And I might argue in some aspects better than this Turles, which is now 3 years later, because that Turles came out in late 2020. And like, it didn't really wow me. The intro was really cool, but it didn't wow me. They're giving me a lot of SA fodder here for my Turles, like I thought it would. And also, to be fair, I was staying up to react to that because we knew it was coming, because we got the preview the night before, and I'd fallen asleep, and then I woke up after the animations had been out for about an hour, and then just reacted to it like super groggy. So there was also that aspect of it too. But I've watched them obviously since, and yeah, it's just kind of, you know, they're Dokkan animations. Like, I think the best way to describe it was I was talking to Diddy, and like, it wasn't one of those moments where you're like, dude, this is Dokkan. It was one of those moments where you were just like, okay, yeah, this is Dokkan, you know, which is, take that how you will, it's fine. It just wasn't like, it didn't like blow me away. And we know they can cook. Like, go look at Beast Gohan that they just put out 6 months ago. We know they can make this game look like almost indistinguishable to its counterpart that it's replicating. And someone said, well, has anyone ever even watched Tree of Might? Yes, I've obviously watched Tree of Might. I feel like it's one of those things as a Dragon Ball fan, like even some of the movies maybe you've heard are like mid or not good, you still watch them for the sake of saying like, hey, I've watched all the movies, right? So yes, I've seen Tree of Might. I've even seen, you know, The World's Strongest, Dr. Wheelo, who's now in the freaking game. But that doesn't mean that I remember every aspect of it either. But like, they can cook, they can embellish. Like, we know they can do these things. I expected them to put out some really crazy animations, and that's just not really what we got. They were just okay. They weren't bad. By no means do I think the Turles animations were bad. I just thought they were really going to wow me going back to the Turles movie. I think that's, you know, I think in that's super fair. And also the other thing too, yes, the other thing too with this, dude, what is happening? I have 79% now on both of those. I'm not even gonna lock those up because they're literally gonna get fed in as soon as this video is done. But back to back, and then to go back to the whole Dokkan fumbling thing and all of that, it is so weird to me that they're EZAing the Gohan and the Goten, which, by the way, really kills a lot of theories that Broly is coming later this year at some point, because wouldn't they just EZA with a Broly movie celebration? Like, that would be a really big EZA to happen during a Broly movie celebration of some sort, because it would make sense in pretty much any aspect of whether it's Super Broly or Z Broly. So I don't know that I've seen anyone really talk about that, but that's also decently concerning, because I was really holding out that we would get a Broly. Like, Dude, there's so much just that we could discuss here. Like, why are we getting another, you know, DFE Turles when there are tons of other characters that they could give us that we've not really gotten like that much at all? And I know that Turles, in terms of like post good animations, we've really only had the one, really, like, unless I'm forgetting one. But the only one that has released, the way I look at it is there are animations prior to LR Goku and Frieza and the AGO Meta Cooler, and then there are animations post that. And all the animations post that are like reaction worthy and all of that. All the animations before that, easily just redo them, right? Like redo Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the attack one, like redo those. Like you could easily redo those animations and really go crazy for them. You know, but like when we've got stuff like Super Saiyan 3 Goku really isn't that represented. Like the moment with Majin Buu, I know there's the intelligence one that transforms, but animations have gotten even so much better. And this would be more, I want this to be an LR, so I don't really want this to be like a random end of May DFE. But that's just another example of like moments I don't feel like they've really capitalized on in the game. And we're rehashing Turles. Like it's just, again, I'm not using this to go super deep into it. Maybe I'll make a video where I go much deeper into it than that. So just take kind of what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but like a really good example besides even the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because there's a lot of Super Saiyan 3 Gokus in the game. Obviously, we just literally got one as a duo unit for the 8th anniversary, but like DBS Broly has had one main character release. There's no, I'm not counting the one with Chila and Limo. Like it is what it is, but it's Super Saiyan Broly. There's the free to play one, and then there's the physical one, and that's it. And that movie, those characters came out 5 years ago this December. So speaking of, there's a character from the movie, like, and here we are repeating Turles and repeating. I don't know, dude. It's just weird things, you know. And then back to the fact that Gohan and Goten are EZAing. They could have just done Turles. Don't tell me Turles is too new. He's not new. I don't care about that aspect of it. I want the thematics of it to make sense. And LR Turles right now could help Turles right now. Like, yeah, he might EZA in 6 months or a year, but at that point, this physical Turles will be fodder for the most part. Like, he won't even be on people's minds. Like, I don't agree with this aspect that a character needs to be a certain age before they can EZA him. Because they could EZA physical Raditz right now. Who's going to be mad about that? Like, if they had EZA'd Raditz right now with Turles, who's going to be mad about that? If you're mad about that, get over it. You're just being silly. Like, that, as long as it makes sense and it supports the team. I mean, Gohan and Goten are doing nothing for Turles and his team. They're doing absolutely nothing for him. So I would much rather them go out of order and just EZA the STR Turles right here, right now, or even Bojack, who came out around that same time. And it make more sense to support the team that Turles is currently, you know, filling out than to do one that makes more sense chronologically. Like, no. And like, it doesn't matter if the LR Turles EZAs a year from now, because a year from now will be in a different meta with a different character and different this and different that. Just help the Turles now where it makes the most sense, and you can build this really cool thematic team that is cohesive and works together and all these things. I think it makes way more sense to support the characters that are here and now than worrying about 12 months from now. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on the situation. And I feel like that just makes the most sense. But to be fair, to be devil's advocate of everything I'm saying, as much as I do enjoy this game, not a lot of what they've done in the last 6 to 7 months has really made much sense anyway. So it probably just fits the theme of how Dokkan has been in 2023. I did have a buddy of mine message me and say that he wasn't that excited for 8th anniversary because there's a lot of rehash characters. Dude, what is happening? Why have I nearly rainbowed that character? I mean, I'm glad he's really good, or they are really good. I'm gonna do just like a few more, just you know, I just want to see if I can get a Turles dupe, but if I can't, my Turles will be 55%, collection is still complete, and we're still good to go. But he said he wasn't that excited for Standby. Like he likes the idea of a Super Saiyan 3 Goku and you know, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta together, but the idea of Standby isn't that like enticing or exciting. And I'm like, I mean, when you're using it, I think it's fun. I do like using the Spirit Bomb. But I can kind of get what he means a little bit, because they are interesting picks for sure. And like part 2, I actually like, so I'm not a big fan of the Gohan. I just don't really like the Gohan that much. The Gohan, I think, is a fumble from an aspect of the fact that it is like the opening to Dragon Ball Z, like the opening I feel like most of us are most familiar with. But it's locked behind this Gohan that I just don't really care for that much. But on the flip side of that, the Dragon Ball Z Kai Goku, I like a lot. that has been like maybe my like sleeper, like that you probably wouldn't choose as your favorite character of the year. That's been like my favorite character of the year. Like not my absolute favorite character, but like if I had to choose like a sleeper favorite, I think that Goku would be my favorite. I think of all the part 2s we've ever gotten, that might actually be my favorite part 2 unit, which I know is probably not like the general consensus with people, but it is what it is. That is mine. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on the situation. But at the same time, is I like that character for his kit. I like how he works in game. And I do like his intro and I do like his super attack, but his active is so lame. Like his active fits because he does a spirit bomb and that's what makes him fit. But like the active is super lame. It's very lackluster, doesn't do much damage, and the animations fall flat at the end, like so bad. They make me think of Turles. Turles animations were really good on the active until Gohan goes Great Ape, and then it's like, what did they do? Like why did it fall just so flat? Like I was really confused as to why it was very good, looked really good, and then Gohan goes Great Ape, and then it's just like, what? Like I don't know. It was very strange, very strange. But minus that being my like sleeper hit, like the follow through of that anniversary was interesting. I'm very glad we got year 5 EZAs. I think that was huge and massive, but yeah, I don't know. It's I don't feel the general hype from the global community, and you guys can let me know if I'm very wrong in this. I don't feel the general hype from the global community right now for the anniversary, which is not normal. I mean, this is the build up to the 8th anniversary. They're already doing like the countdown and stuff, which I also thought spoke kind of volumes that they're already doing like this massive countdown and that they already revealed like, hey, these units are coming. I was like, that's not normal for them. So maybe the 8th anniversary was a little underwhelming performance side on JP, and so they're like, well, we probably need to start getting the marketing out there now to get ahead of it, and hopefully we can drive a lot of people to it. But you guys let me know, are you excited for 8th Annie, or is this like the first time in a while we're just kind of like, eh, like the characters aren't necessarily vibing with you? I just really curious to see where you guys are at with it, and if my general feeling of how people are is right, or if I'm very wrong and you guys are actually really excited for the 8th anniversary. I do think there are a lot of redeeming qualities. I think once you guys get into it, you'll be more excited about it. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the 8th anniversary just fine. It wasn't 7th for me, you know, like 7th I think is my favorite anniversary to date. And it was not 7th anniversary at all. All right, I'm gonna do one more after this, and that's the end of the video, no matter what happens. Even though we have a can't end on DFE rule, I'm gonna end on DFE. Maybe that will give me bad luck in whatever the part 2 for this is, but I've saw a lot of people think it's gonna be Goku. After what happened with Kel and we got a Super Boo, I mean, part 2 could be literally anything. It does not have to be a Spirit Bomb Goku, like at all. So I would say throw away everything we've ever known about how this game handles part 1s and part 2s, and it could be literally anything. All right, this is gonna be my last summon. This will leave me with 220 stones, which is more than enough. Gonna be a featured maybe. No Zeno. Could be 3 or more featured. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for just listening to me talk the talk. The game is going to be fine. Now, I might be tooting a different horn if Tanabata. Again, I agree. Very strange 2023. But if Tanabata is not the craziest thing ever, so we're getting a DFE and we just got them also 90%. Then yeah, I'll be a little concerned. I mean, I am. There is a small concern for sure with whoever is handling this game right now. I just don't know. But when we get to like Tanabata, and if Tanabata is a sleeper, which we'll know in literally like 30 days, I might be like, yo, what are we doing? But what you're doing is clicking on another awesome video right here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.